Hey guys, Darth Lord here, back with part 1 of our brand new side game. We will be playing Doki Doki Literature Club. So, this game was quite popular when it originally came out, and for good reason. It's amazing. So I have played it once before, and this is one of those games that honestly would have been better played blind, but of course I had no way of knowing that. So, you know, here we are. So I had no way of knowing that. Now, if anything visually or like audibly is wrong, of course that'll be fixed in subsequent episodes. Something I've noticed here, check this out. When I'm going up and down the menu, it like lags the game. So it's like, I don't know what's up with that, but hopefully that doesn't persist in game. Ideally, hopefully it won't persist inside the game, so we'll keep an eye on it, and hopefully we can fix it, and hopefully it's only on the main menu and some weird glitch. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop right into it. I don't know how long this series will be, but, you know, let's go. You think I should enter my real name, or should I enter, like, a username? Maybe we should just enter my real name. There we go. Let's just go with Joshua. Let's just go with my real name. Hey! So obviously I'll have to read all of this, by the way. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori. Sayori? My neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today. But it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long? That's so mean to say that about your friend. Anyway, we used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. Wow, he's such a jerk. Like, he's so mean. Don't listen to it. That's not a good example. Alright, however, I just saw an idol in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. Oh, I think it's important to pay attention to who's speaking, otherwise you might get lost. This is obviously her. You said that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Joshua. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. This is not representative of how I would treat someone. This guy's a jerk. He's not the real Joshua. Trust me, I don't act like that. I'm not that mean. Alright, we cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, these streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Joshua, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not interested in joining any clubs. Well, at least that part's pretty accurate. I haven't been looking either. Also accurate. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. This guy's such a jerk. He's so mean. This is not representative. Anyway, Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting on by the average. What? So what? Let me try that again. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Okay, this is okay. Now that part's pretty stinking accurate. I didn't really care about school back when I was in school, like at all. And all I really cared about was games and anime. So that's pretty true. That's pretty true. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize and have any skills before college. Okay, I'm right here, alright? Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I would die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, from what I understand, a NEET is like a shut-in, and it's like a super introvert, someone who never leaves the house unless they can help it type of thing. But that's what they call it in Japan. I don't know if NEET, I'm assuming NEET stands for something. I'm assuming NEET stands for something, but I really don't know. But from what I understand, it's like a hermit shut-in that never wants to see or talk to anybody. You get the idea. You know, a sweaty neckbeard. You get the idea. Anyway, you trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright, alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. Man, I'm such a jerk. This is not representative. He's so mean. Anyway, the school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I knew it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but start with the anime club. Well, there's at least a sign, right? Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come to the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait. You don't need to wait for me if it's gonna make you late to your own club. Well, I guess you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know what? Well, that you would come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There is no way I am going to your club. Ah, meanie. I'm so mean to her. I'm sorry, Sayori. It's not how I act, I swear. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. There's nothing wrong with reading, right? Anyway, not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Again, not representative. I like reading, okay? Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday that I would bring in a new member, and Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Haha. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go. I'm such a jerk. I'm so sorry, Sayori. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Okay, now if that isn't, like, representative, I don't know what is. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used by third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. It sounds like the Tim Allen thing. Anyway, I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Joshua, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. I'm just like silent. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Yeah, that's great. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy, and this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparatively mature, comparatively more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with the people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Joshua. Monika smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class, smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So, having her smile at me genuinely feels a little, you too, Monika. Come sit down, Joshua. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Ooh. Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Heh, well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monika, I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I haven't heard this somewhere before. Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for you, you know, you dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Well, don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. Well, I mean, that's actually something else that's not accurate. I don't think I've ever tried tea. Like, in general, I don't think I've ever tried it. Anyway, I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monika raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Probably not. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seems really happy here, so that's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monika, I'm impressed. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member of any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate team last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I enjoy personally and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monika really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but if it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah. We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they are all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So Joshua, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read the past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. I wasn't joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without, wait, I completely lost my place. I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. I get that. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements really immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of their own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Well, I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really, I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Oh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give me that back. Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hand on her shoulders. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write, that's me, sorry. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet? I'm like, not a very confident writer yet? I have to be careful how I say that, because otherwise, like, it could have a completely different meaning. Anyway, I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. She's just silent. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to see everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Silence. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That's why, that way, everyone is even. Silence. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Joshua? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought... Joshua, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone, remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Joshua, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Hehe. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Okay, I'm right here, alright? Like, who authorized this game to make a biography about me, okay? You know, being defenseless against women and having anxiety well up within you for reasons. Like, just come on, I'm right here. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Joshua, since you're already here, do you want to walk home together? Oh, that's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me, and I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. I suppose so. It's time to write a poem. Pick words that you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Alright, sorry, we are back. Alright, it's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Alright, so first... I'm gonna give this a save. Right there. Beautiful. Okay, just wanted to double check. Alright. So, let's see here. Who do you think we should write a poem for? That's the real question. Aiming. Let's go for maybe Yuri first. No! That was fear! Flip. Alright, that's not good. Okay, hang on. Let me think. There we go, okay. Pick things that are long and intense thing. Wrath! Yeah, alright, we're doing it. We're doing it. Grief! Flip! Alright, now we're 2 and 2. That's less than good. Infallible. There we go. Alright. Philosophy. We're nailing it. Let's see here. Passion! No! Alright, darn it. There we go. I was about to say that. Definitely her. Darn it. It's like even right now. Horror. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Romance? No! Why am I so even? Like, that's not on purpose. Misfortune. Darn it. Tenacious. Alright, there we go. Let's see. Infinite. Okay, we're doing it. Fantasy. What? Why is that yours? She was talking about fantasy books, though. We can do this. Universe. Alright, there we go. There we go. Agonizing. There we go. Melancholy. Nightgown. Darn it. Eternity. Yes, okay, I feel like we definitely got more Yuri than anything else, I think. Hi again, Joshua. Glad to see you didn't run away on us, haha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Joshua. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayuri told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself struck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Joshua always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayuri, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Joshua can become good friends too. So it's no surprise that obviously Yuri is 100% my aesthetic. Like, obviously, you know, it's no surprise. Like, if you look at, like, historically what my favorite characters in various animes have been, even through my reviews, it's always the character who's, like, long, you know, the purple hair, whether they're quiet and hiding something darker or whether they're not. Like, you get the idea. She's definitely very much my aesthetic, if that's what you would call it. My stereotype? No, I forget what it's called, but you get the idea. It might be aesthetic. Anyway, not surprising that I like Yuri a lot. Anyway, Sayuri. Silence. As usual, Sayuri seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayuri. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayuri made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So, any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Sayuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. Ho-ho! Sorry. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? That's a great question. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayuri and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. Silence. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... Hey, that's the book you lent me. You gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Yes, of course! Not for any particular reason, he says. Sorry. Just curious, but how come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, or that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear it. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? Well, it's about... Anyway. That's me asking. What's it about? Anyway, I get it. All right. Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. All right. I just wanted to make sure I don't actually give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escape from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. Wow, that's kinda dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was gonna be a nice story, so that dark turn came out of nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of this sort of thing, Joshua? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Well, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life in a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they've made out to be the naive one, letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then, but I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books or writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So, I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange, and please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you were looking forward to it. Just silence. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. All right, it's fine if I say here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a bit apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in the company of someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It seems that she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. So, I'll say this, though, that, like, this is one of those things that, like, it's super adorable in theory, but I feel like in practice, reading, like, from the same book as someone else is reading at the same time would be really difficult, because a lot of people have super different reading paces. And as an example, my older sister is super big into reading, and she's a super fast reader as well, way faster than me. So if we tried doing that, she would outpace me so fast, she would reach the end of, like, whatever, the 2 pages before I was done, and she would be waiting on me. So it's one of those things that it's adorable, but you would have to read at a similar pace, otherwise it would just be annoying. Anyway, I digress. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so I decide to use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Check it out, guys! A little scene, it's so cute! Sorry. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Huh? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like, she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see, it's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of you, of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment, but Joshua, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait! I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know that you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. Silence. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. This is like we're like having this moment. It gets interrupted. We're like, whoa, sorry. Didn't mean to get, sorry, that's my bad. All right, sorry. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. Oh, it's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some of the more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. Well, in that case, I'll read a little bit more tonight. It'll be more fun with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, I'll feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. That would be so hard. I can't make like a mental note. Like, I feel like, I mean, once I was like looking through, I would be like, I read this, skip farther ahead. I read this, skip farther ahead. But it wouldn't be like, you know, page 62 and just flip to it. Like, it would never be that easy. Anyway, by the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayuri and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayuri's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica writes hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Yeah, this is not going to be pretty. Who should I share my poem with first? I mean, Yuri, right? Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notices her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, then ends up covering her whole face. She's gonna hate me. Or maybe I think that was her. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Huh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Haha. Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really? Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words of a poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think that most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem? If your poem now, please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Oh man, I can't read that handwriting. Click outside poem to continue. I can't read cursive very well. I think it says ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe maybe it's calmly? Breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers, I flicker back. I don't get poetry at all. Like, at all, as you might be able to tell. Even if I could read cursive well, which obviously I don't. Even if I could, I don't get poetry very well, alright? So it's like, you know, it's imperfect to be sure. Anyway, I'm sorry that I have such terrible handwriting. Her handwriting is great. It's not her fault I can't read it. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But you took a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. Exactly. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Exactly. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Haha, actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Joshua. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Now that I get, I understand nothing about poetry. It always means nothing to me, almost all the time. Anyway, well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't thought of it like that. That's impressive, huh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too. So, nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yes, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Joshua. Ah, me too. All right, there's another one. Let's just go. Let's get Natsuki out of the way. All right, this is not gonna be pretty. Silence. I'm like, okay. Joshua, if you're not gonna take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh? What, you expected me to believe you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? So just like, yeah, fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'll tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you'll probably think it's stupid. I like how she just like imposes this whole thought process like I'm this cruel jerk. I mean, to be fair, my internal monologue is often I was super mean to Sayori, so like that's not good. But anyway, whatever. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Well, it's adorable. I'll say that. It's adorable. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you can actually see that because, like, the rest of it just goes, and then it's just like, humans could try, but that's about it. Like, I could totally see that. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect it from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Alright, there you go. Let's do Monika next. Hi, Joshua. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway. See, now again, that was like so accurate. Like, if they're like, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And I'm thinking internally, I am never gonna ask any questions. It's never gonna happen. I better figure it out on my own. Every time. Anyway, want to share a poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. She just laughs. Ha 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 ha. I can't do a laugh that's convincing, so it's just like, she's laughing. You get it, alright? Anyway, don't worry, Joshua. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. Great job, Joshua. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. Oh, so real. So true. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. Oh my gosh, that is so true. Man, that hits home in a whole new way. Oh, that's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Oh, believe me, I know. Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism, unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, but which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Haha. He's like, yeah, totally. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Oh look, more pretty handwriting that I have no ability to emulate. Anyway, hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the... Is it that spackle? Spackle. I don't know, you don't have to say it like that. Spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend, I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind like a film left out in the sun, but it's too late. My retinas. Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything, a hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in. Again, I means nothing, just right over my head. I mean, it's pretty sounding, but I have no idea what it means. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had kind of, let me backtrack. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strong. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen on the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. I like that. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. I actually like that. That actually makes sense. So I've mentioned before that my sister and I are actually writing a fantasy book, and it's slow going because we're making it intricate. That's the whole purpose. Is we want it to feel real and intricate, not like little kids wrote it. And so we're doing the world building stage now, which we've been doing for years, but it's evolving as we've been going. And it's turned into something like actually super unique and really special, I think. And that's very true, that a lot of the times if I'm trying to make a character or whatever and writing it down, and I'll come to this spot where I'm like, man, I don't know what to write about this. I don't know what to say. This doesn't feel right. And then I'm like, okay, well, let's just get this down because it's kind of right. And then we'll move on. And then later on, I come back and then I have inspiration and I can change it. But sometimes it's easier just to write anything and have you get past that point. A lot of times it's just easier that way. Anyway. All right. And then Sayori did start reading it. This is a good poem, Joshua. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course, it's not that good. But am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? Yeah, I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you just wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course, I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean it'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Joshua. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Yeah, deep down, super deep down, apparently. Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. She chuckles. We'll see about that. Alright. Well, her handwriting is super neat. Alright, let me take a drink so I can breathe. Ugh, I'm throwing something in my throat, it's killing me. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue, it's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad, I want breakfast. Yeah, perfect. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait till this morning to write this? No? Just a little bit? You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah, I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yes. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast, even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Oh, I get that. I am super mean, and I have lots of other medical things that makes it so I can't miss meals very often. But I still get it though. Even besides the medical stuff, I do get really cranky if I miss breakfast or other meals too. But you get the idea. Anyway, well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. Laughs. That was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget, and I'm gonna write down the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing ability. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They're gingerly exchanging sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss a symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feelings of not giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You meant you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? She's trying so hard to pick a fight. People like that are so exhausting. Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. Huh. But if I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Joshua did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, Excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. Oh! And Joshua liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Huh? That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Joshua appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Oh, shots fired. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one with boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Joshua started showing up. Natsuki, this doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Joshua, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should just jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Joshua. Sorry, I'm like drying my hands as usual. The sweat's coming on. Give me a minute. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Joshua? Well? I was just silent. How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, and whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Well, that's easy. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait! That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri? You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, but here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said something that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenched her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. So Yuri, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all of your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki, she really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Everything all right? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri, how could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Joshua, you're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful, so... Huh? What thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm gonna go make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than just one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How do you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Joshua, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends too, so your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little bit about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Joshua, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Chuckles. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. It's because my dude is being an unnecessary jerk. Sayori, about what happened earlier. Huh? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Joshua, it's nice that I got to spend time with you in the club, but I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you, too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught onto the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's do this. All right, back again. Okay. So, that's the thing. Time-wise, we are at an hour, which means we need to stop. And with editing, odds are it'll be a little bit less because I took a few minutes looking up something. So maybe we will call this one here. Luckily, you could save anytime. That's what's so convenient. And we're going to save over here. Trust me, it's important. And I guess I could just tell you what I'm going to do here. Okay, so what you may not know about this game is that there are multiple endings. You may not know that. Now, first time through is your ending. The ending you might get, most people get the same ending first time through. Obviously, it's better to play this blind and never look up anything before you play it. Obviously, everyone will tell you that if you look it up. So, here's the thing. What I'm going to try and do, I hope it'll work, but I'm doing this kind of spur of the moment. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get the perfect ending. Now, what you have to do is you're going to have to save scum a little bit. But don't worry, it's not like we're playing like a, we're not playing like a strategy game or something. So what we'll do is, as you notice that when we talked to Yuri for the first poem, did you guys notice how there was a whatchamacallit? There was a little scene that showed her and me and her holding the book together and stuff. So that is one of the scenes. Each girl has 3 scenes. So to get the perfect ending, from what I understand, is before a certain point in the game, you have to save it. You have to go back. So we're gonna use our saves to attempt to do that. So we're going for Yuri first. So we're gonna always side with her. We'll talk with her. We'll be nice to her specifically. Then we'll get to the point where we need to reload. We'll do that, but then we'll aim at another girl. We'll do that 3 times, and then the 3rd time we'll just press on through. And that's the plan. I am hopeful I will do it right. I'm hopeful that I will do it in the right spots. But that's the hope and the prayer. So that's what we're going to try and hope for. Now, in the settings, wasn't there like a skip? No, I was going to see if there was a way to skip what you've already seen. Maybe I will look that up. But anyway, so yeah, that's the plan. We're going to try and go for I think it's called the fulfilling ending, but it's the perfect ending. It's the best to happily ever after as you can get. And that's what we're going to go for. So that's the hope and the prayer. So that's the reason we're going to be doing this weird save system. Hopefully I do it right. I am using a guide, obviously, because I'm not smart enough to do this on my own. And hopefully I don't mess it up. So we'll have to see what it all brings, but I'm hopeful and I'm really excited because I really want to see what the perfect ending, what the happiest ending looks like. So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, other than that though, despite the lateness of the hour, I am going to record Fallout 4 Part 10, I believe, just because my uploads have been really crazy. This week's been nuts. It's gonna get even crazier. Like Thursday, I have something going on. Friday, I think I might have something going on. Saturday, I have something going on. So it's a pain. So I'm trying to shove my recordings in wherever I can possibly fit them because I still want to record, even though I'm like incredibly busy very suddenly. So that's the hope, is I want to try and record anyway. So my recordings might be spotty and they might be hit or miss, but I'm hopeful that I can that I'm hopeful that I can get as many recordings in as I can. Hopefully next week will be a little more stable, ideally, so, you know, that's the hope anyway. But regardless, though, that's where we are going to call this one. And we already saved it in our little spot here. So, yeah, we're good there. Anyway, but yeah, that is going to call it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today, and we will talk to you guys later.